What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Akercocke, entitled Renaissance In Extremis. This is released on Peaceville Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of London, England, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very dark, experimental, progressive style of blackened death metal. Yeah. When it comes to extreme metal bands to represent the United Kingdom, a band like Akercocke are very special and very worthwhile to the cause. I mean, this is a band that takes what you would normally expect out of death metal, and they throw in things that you're probably not prepared for or gonna be throwing a blind eye to. I mean, you get the really guttural vocals, the crazy riffs, the wild drum compositions, but then you get thrown for a loop with sung vocals, progressive songwriting, just very much sturdy work through and through. And when I think of Akercocke, the two albums that come to mind for me would be what I would consider to be their two best works. 2001's The Goat of Mendes and 2003's Koranzen, the latter of which is probably my favorite out of the bunch. I mean, both of those albums really represent the style of Akercocke perfectly. Great death metal, great vocals, great singing, just a lot of variety. Even going to the album that introduced me to this band being 2007's Antichrist, which crazily enough was the last time we had heard something from this band. It's been over 10 years since we had heard an Akercocke record, because in 2012 the band pretty much dissolved, and some of the people involved with the band went on to form newer music projects, most notably the Antichrist Imperium, and a project that I really enjoy a lot, Voices, where we get more of the progressive tinge sort of sounds that you know best from a band like Akercocke. But in 2016, this band reunited, reinvigorated, refocused, inspired, and now here we are with their 7th full-length entitled Renaissance In Extremis. Like I said, this has been 10 years in the making. It's 9 tracks, and it clocks in at around 54 minutes in length. And whilst a lot of the people involved in the band went on to continue in music and other sort of projects, it seems as if the flame for a band like Akercocke hasn't really been dimmed all that much yet. There is still a lot of fire and glory and guts ready to be put to use for a band like this, and Renaissance In Extremis is definitely something that has been well worth the 10-year wait. Yeah, pretty much what you expect out of an Akercocke record is all on the line here with Renaissance In Extremis. Musically, sonically, production-wise, it fits perfectly. It sounds wonderful. I love the guitar playing. I love the variety and the differences between riffs on songs, the more death metal sort of parts, the progressive breaks. Just some wonderful packaging going on here. You hear it on the opening track, Disappear, which is a really, really great way to get the ball rolling for an album like this. But then moving on to later parts of the album with songs like First to Leave the Funeral, A Final Glare Back Before Departing, to even tracks like One Chapter Closing for Another to Begin. Just some seriously intricate, well thought out guitar playing going on throughout the majority of this album. It definitely holds up the cause very well. The bass work is very good too. You hear a very, very awesome underlying tone throughout the majority of this album. It's a very well done bass performance. If I'm not mistaken, this bassist is pretty much the newer part of Akercocke. A lot of the people involved with Akercocke in the early days are back for this band, but the bassist is brand new, and he does a very, very fine and formidable job keeping the bass work on here tremendous and audible and clear throughout. The drumming on here is phenomenal. I love the fact that it can differentiate from being straight up crazy death metal sort of drumming to more relaxed, progressive sort of breaks. A lot of great fills, a lot of blast beats, just a lot of craziness going on throughout the death metal moments of this record. But when things begin to break into more progressive sort of tinges, the drum work works out well. There's a bit of a jazzy sort of feeling going in some of these drum parts. I really, really love that. Going back to some of the lengthier tracks on this record, like Familiar Ghosts, and even the closing track, a particularly Cold September, that's a fucking brilliant track, and the drum work on there is sensational through and through. The ambience, the keys, the smaller moments of a record like this definitely bring out the best of something like this album. And when it comes to the vocals, it's pretty much the typical Akercocke sort of vocal style. You get these really low, gurgly sounding guttural vocals. I mean, it's just like... It's like they picked up where Antichrist left off almost 10 years ago. You get these really wild and crazy guttural vocals, but then you get the differentiated singing, you get the sung vocals, you get these really rambunctious, spoken sort of style of singing. It's just very crazy, almost theatrical to a sense. I know I mentioned theatrical in the last review I did, but Akercocke does theatrical stuff in a very classy, crazy sort of way, and they bring great attention to detail with the singing here. There's some great additional singing moments going on throughout this record, and I think that these moments work out perfectly. I definitely feel that the Akercocke vocal style works out perfectly here. So overall, this band is back to where it needs to be. I'm really impressed with how this album came about. This has definitely been worth the 10-year waiting. If you're a fan of any of Akercocke's body of work, you are going to find something great to enjoy with Renaissance In Extremis. I don't think that this is their best album. I still think Karanzin holds that near and dear place to my heart, but Renaissance In Extremis is definitely going to be right up there with some of their best works. So if I had to think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Disappear, Insentience, First to Leave the Funeral, A Final Glance Back Before Departing, and the closing track, a particularly Cold September. I'm definitely getting those My Dying Bride sort of vibes with that last track. It's so fucking awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box. This is how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the track Disappear, which I believe is currently streaming on YouTube. And I will also leave you links to where you can purchase physical copies. I believe it is available as a CD, double LP, and a Digibook CD. So whatever is available, I will leave you a link to that so you can definitely buy it if you want to. So again, the album is Renaissance In Extremis by Akercocke. This is released on Peaceville Records. Go check this out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 9 out of 10. Definitely a welcome return for this band. Akercocke are back up and running. So if you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and how you think it compares to previous bands' releases. Or any of you guys into Akercocke, let me know. I'm pretty sure you guys are making shot glass games out of how many times I'm saying the word cock in this review. That's totally awesome. So thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until next time, Army Ho out.